Hey guys, I have something really important to discuss with you guys today. As you know, I've had my time of caregiver burnout myself a few years ago, and I came back out of that, which was a really rough and hard and long road to get to where I am today. Um, but there's something that's been bothering me that I really need to put out there that cannot wait for my perfectly scheduled content plan that needs to just be said right now because it's bothering me and I think it needs to be discussed. Um, I'm in several other special needs groups and looking at what is discussed in there every day, and then also looking back at where I was when I was stressed out and burned out. Um, there's something missing, right? There's usually when you go into a support group and you talk about your day and you're expecting help, the standard answers are, make more time for yourself, go out on a date night, schedule me time, accept your child for who they are, accept your life for what it is, and basically suck it up and move on, right? Um, this is non-rehearsed, by the way, so it's not as polished as my videos normally are. Just hear me out for a second. This is important, and I'm fired up about this, and I need to talk to you guys about this. Really, what it comes down to is you have to acknowledge where you are right now, and nobody is willing to talk about that. Everybody's willing to talk about our kids' struggles and what's the next thing that we can do, what's the next action steps for better treatment or whatever the case may be. And when we get to the tough questions and we ask, how can I be okay with what's going on? The standard answer tends to be, well, it is what it is. So in other words, literally suck it up and move on already. Get over yourself. And we're doing ourselves such a disfavor by ignoring this issue and basically saying, well, just move on, because it's not that simple. How can you move on when you don't face what's right in front of you? When you swallow that down all the time and never actually talk about it? So I want to talk to you about it today because it is vitally important and I think it's being ignored, and I'm sick and tired of the cookie cutter method of take some me time, go out on a date, go get a massage. I did that, great, but that doesn't solve my life problems. So I want you to think about this for a minute. What is it that you have lost when you became a special needs parent? Whether because there were unexpected medical challenges or whether you went into the special needs world with intention. Maybe you adopted some special needs kids. I still guarantee there are things that came up that you didn't plan for that are stressing you out and you don't know what to do with it. So I want you to really sit here and admit to yourself, what is it that you personally have lost? Maybe you had to give up your job. Maybe you didn't get to return to life as it was before. Maybe your expectations of what life was going to be like now are totally shattered. Maybe you have lost friends because they couldn't relate to you anymore, and you couldn't relate to them because you're stuck in this special needs world and you don't even know what's going on outside. Maybe your relationship is on the edge because you haven't had time to focus on that. Whatever the case may be, I want you to really be honest with yourself. Put your child aside for a minute and really focus on you. What is it you have lost? What is it that you had to give up? This topic is never really discussed openly in groups, and I think it is so sad, really, because how can you fix it if you are not willing to acknowledge what the problem is in the first place? It's not selfish to talk about what you want. It is not selfish to say, you know what, this situation sucks. I didn't sign up for this. I didn't want this. It is not selfish to admit that, because you have to admit it in order to be able to then move on. It's not as simple as, it is what it is. It's not that simple. And it needs to be addressed. So I'm challenging you today to do exactly that. What is it you want? What is it that you're missing? What is it that you had to give up, that you weren't ready to give up, that you weren't expecting to give up? What challenges are you facing now that you don't know what to do with? And you don't know what else is the hard truth that nobody wants to talk about? The only person who can change that is you. I know this might come as a shock to you that I'm pointing my finger right at you and saying this, and believe me when I say this is coming from a place of love and from a place of deep desire to help you guys, because I've been there. I've been there. I've been at the bottom where I literally didn't want to get up the next morning. I felt like I had nothing left to live for. And I wish somebody would have been there and looked me straight in the eye and said, you are the only one who can get yourself out of this. There's no magic formula. There's no fancy therapist who can help you unless you're willing to help yourself. Your husband can't save you. Your friends can't save you. Your family can't save you. The greatest support group out there can't save you unless you're willing to stop playing the victim and look and face the hard truth. What is it that you're so scared of? What is it that you have lost? I get it. Being honest is scary as hell. Because you don't know what the outcome is going to be. You don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. You don't even want to face yourself because it's so scary. But it's the only way to move forward. So I wanted to jump on here. This couldn't wait. This can't wait for Mindset Monday or whatever else I have going on in my group. I wanted to share this because it needs to be said and it isn't being discussed. There's no sugarcoating this. It's not going to be a pat on the back from me saying it's going to be okay. Because the only person who can make it okay is you. And it starts by admitting what you're struggling with, what you've lost, what you had to give up, what you want, and asking for help. Nobody can do that but you. I know this because I've been there. I've had offers of help. I didn't take them. I was too proud. I didn't want to admit to myself that I was so deep down that I couldn't get back up. I didn't want to admit that I needed help because I wanted to be everything to everyone. I wanted to be the strong one, the independent one. Well, to be independent, you do have to need help sometimes. You have to ask for help. You have to take the help. And you have to say what is not going well in your life in order to then switch it around. I'm all about a positive mindset. You know that. That's what I do in my group. But this has to be put out there. You cannot have a positive mindset. You cannot switch your life around to the point where you actually enjoy life again unless you're facing the taboos, unless you're asking the tough questions, unless you're looking yourself in the mirror and saying, what the hell am I so afraid of? Why am I making these excuses? Because you might be sitting there and saying, I'm not in total burnout yet. I just need a little self-care. I challenge you on that. I challenge you on that because I don't believe you. If that is all you needed, if all you needed was a little extra self-care on your day-to-day basis, then how come you haven't done it? What is your excuse? What is holding you back? And don't tell me it's because you can't find a babysitter for your special needs child. I'm right there with you. That's not a good excuse because there's always alternatives if you're willing to look for them and if you're willing to take the action. So today I'm challenging you. Look at yourself and admit to yourself, what did you have to give up? What do you not like about your life? What do you want out of life? And can you really get yourself out of it on your own? If you need help, you know where to find me. Talk to you in the group.